Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Miniart. It is made in 1/35 scale, which is almost traditional for this brand. But here, as you can see, we get the combo set, so it's rest and fighting, so we get US soldiers with WLA motorcycles, and well, this combo might be a good base for some diorama ideas, and in 1/35 scale I think you will have plenty. And as you can see, the kit number is 53068, and what we have in this box and what I will show in this video is the final shape of the release, and should be already available in Modelimex, for example, so you can get it there. So first of all, the box size is rather standard for such type of release from Miniart, so here is comparison with my hand. We have rather simple box art here. It shows soldiers sleeping on the motorcycle and also fighting behind the motorcycle, and here on the side you can see also some information about the manufacturer and safety advices, while here on the opposite side you can see 4 marking options and also the small reminder that decals are coming from cartograph. So this is a top opening box, and inside we have all frames sealed into one bag. But as you can notice, there is plenty of space inside, so I don't think something will arrive to you in a damaged condition. Both motorcycles are the same, I think only the figurines are different, so that's why we will review only one sprue for the motorcycle, because all the parts are molded there, but we will check both figurine sprues just to see what is the difference between these soldiers. So, I'm removing them out of the plastic bag right now. And the first plastic sprue is dedicated to the various armament and equipment, so I will open the lenses a bit and zoom in. Now you should be able to see what we will be talking about here. So overall, the molding quality looks fine, and I would say this is more or less traditional thing for Miniart. As you can see, there is no flash or any other possible damage on those parts, and also the attachment points are quite thin, so it's good to see the reduced amount of the attachment points on this part. So this is a thing which will make the assembly easier, and also will ensure that you get the clean cut on the parts and you won't damage them while separating them off the sprue. Next we continue with the first figurine, and here we have this soldier in a sleeping position, I guess. So because of the crossed hands here, and as you can see, the position is predefined obviously, but we have quite interesting parts division, and there is no attachment points, if we can put it this way, or any guiding elements. So that's why you should be careful while joining all of this stuff together, because it will be very important to get a smooth connection between the body parts, because otherwise it will just look like a toy soldier, and this is definitely not the result we want to achieve. If we want to check what is inside the helmet, there are also some minor features, but I guess you will be placing it on top of the head or maybe beside the soldier, so that's why it's not that important. But usually Miniart is quite diligent with such features, so they do not skip on something because it's not visible on the final result. Next we continue with the fighting soldier, so slightly different pose, but pretty much the same design because it's a 1/35 scale figurine after all. And as you can see, again, we do not have any guiding elements or position pins, so that's why pay attention to the overall alignment of those elements, because the surface features, they're looking great, but another question is how this stuff will be joining together, and I think it will require some careful alignment, maybe also use of the special glue, which is taking a bit more time to set, because you will need some time to adjust the parts and then have the proper alignment between them. Next we continue with the Sprue A. So here we actually have all of the motorcycle parts. Again, I will repeat you that we have 2 frames of this type. I'm showing only one now. And as you can see, the overall design is rather nice because we get a lot of things copied out of the box. And let's not forget that this is a plastic kit. That's why you have to work around some limitations in form of, let's say, the plastic frame, which is assembled out of 2 sections, but I guess this is something expected in such a kit, so it's definitely not a problem. And also the plastic wheels, I'm really glad that Miniart actually included such thing here. We do not deal with the vinyl or any other unnecessary thing. It's a proper plastic part which will look a bit more realistic. And of course you can replicate the weight effect if you would like to. It's just a bit of a putty and you will be good to go. But I can also show them closer, because here, as you can see, we have some guiding elements. So you have to combine these sections together. And here, by the way, you can see the frame parts or sections. So these ones will be a bit tricky. Here is comparison with my fingertip, so do not underestimate them. These are quite tender parts, and that's why you have to be extra careful while separating them and also joining them together to assemble the bike. Also, by the way, here we have the side bags. And from the opposite side, as you can see, we also get features in all necessary spots. So this is definitely a good design. And next, we have the 2 plastic sprues out of transparent plastic. And as you can see here, we have the windscreen. We also have the lenses. So all of this is looking quite nice. But masks are not supplied. This is a typical thing for Miniart. We also get a small P thread for each bike. This one will be necessary in order to replicate the spoke wheels. And also, as you can see, we have some thin parts or small elements copied with P. So in some cases you might even need to use the sharp tweezers, because otherwise it will be almost impossible to apply those parts. And then we also have the cartograph decals. So as you can see, these are also looking great. And we even have decals for the dials. So these are also quite okay. Next we have assembly manual. So this one is printed as the small brochure, but it's still printed in color, which is good, because there are also the marking guides supplied. But here on the cover we have the list of the features. And first here you can see the parts map, and assembly process starts with shaping the PE parts, because you have to align them with the special templates, and then you'll get the proper shape of the wheel, for example. Next we continue with the engine assembly and also the mainframe assembly, and here we continue with the wheel installation, exhaust, also the side stands, the seat, and some other elements as well, as you can notice. So even the front fork, you can notice that there are 2 options, and it's quite interesting that it is made this way, or it's not 2 options, it's actually a double fork, which is quite unusual structure in my opinion. Here you can see where the PE parts will be used. And here we have the cover printed marking guide, which is very handy, but obviously it's a good idea to check some references as well. Note that the colors chart is supplied in several manufacturer designations, which is also good, and you can later use it as the conversion table. And here we have the separate marking guides for the motorcycle. So it's not exactly only 2 options, we actually have 4 variants for both bikes. So obviously you will be able to replicate only 2 out of 4, but it's still good for a 1/35 scale kit, and I think you will definitely find a version to copy. But as for the whole kit, it should be already available. You can get it in Modelimex, and of course I will be happy to hear your opinion. So what do you think about such combo releases with the motorcycles? Write them here in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today. Do not forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Bye.